Welcome to another segment of Insight Check. I am very excited to talk to Josh Morris. Hi, Josh.
Yay!
Hey, hello everyone. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh my gosh.
We are ready to roll insight on you. I got a 15 with my high wisdom score.
Uh-oh.
You are the community manager of Dark Alliance.
Yeah, it's real exciting. Coming out June 22nd. We're really ramping up, less than a month away.
So you're not busy at all these days?
No, I have time to talk. What's up?
We didn't pull you away from anything super important, did we?
No, not at all. Not at all. Got a stream coming up. This is being recorded on a Friday, so we do a live Friday stream I'm going to keep saying Friday. Every Friday. So, yeah, you might see me wearing similar clothing if you're watching this on YouTube.
Oh, so what is the stream that you're doing these days?
It's a dev stream, so we have different topics that we're walking folks through the game, where we'll play through different levels. We'll have celebrity influencers come in, like my co-host DJ Knight is great. He's going to be on all the shows. We have Riker from the Diablo community coming in for the show we're recording today. We're booking some more guests later on. It's great. And then they have me, the lowly old community manager.
Tell Riker I said hi. I used to work with him back in the day.
Oh, will do.
Yeah.
He seems to know everyone here at Wizards.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that kind of. I mean, obviously, this is why we do this podcast as well. Is like talking to the developers, just getting their insights into what's going on in the game. And Dark Alliance is interesting because it combines people's love of Dungeons and Dragons as well as this kind of action brawling gameplay.
Yeah, real easy to pick up. I was afraid that I was going to embarrass myself because while I love to play video games, I tend to play some of the slower ones, and I have stupid fingers, so I'm like, I'm going to look like a fool doing this. But no, I learned a few attacks, and I was playing as Brunor. Brunor's my character, and just wrecking with him. He's a wrecking ball.
So you have not been at Wizards for very long, have you?
No, started in January from Washington, D.C. and just moved to the Seattle Renton area in March. So I'm brand new. I haven't been able to check out everything that's available in the area.
You have no idea what awaits you when you are free to roam around.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of hiking trails, which I'm going to miss the monuments walking by those, but we'll see what Seattle has to offer.
Natural monuments, right?
Yeah.
We've got the huge mountains in every direction. That was what killed me.
Every time I see the mountain, I go, "Oh, there's the mountain. There's the mountain."
I still do that after even 25 years here. I will still have to stop and pause and take a moment to appreciate Mount Rainier. You just never.
There's the spine of the world. It's right there.
There it is.
So you're the community manager for Dark Alliance. I'm stealing Shelly's question here.
You knew what I was going to ask.
I did. I rolled an insight check on you in my head.
Uh-oh.
So what, I mean, a lot of people have heard that term, but what do you think that means? What is a community manager, especially for a game like Dark Alliance?
Oh, yeah, man. Me personally, I dislike the term community manager because there's no standardized definition for it. It's different all over the place. At some organizations, it's basically a customer service person that answers questions. For Wizards, it's a little more complex. I like to describe myself as something of a sociologist or an anthropologist for social media and the internet, because I deal with fandoms. I'm the first line that encounters people. Like if you tweet at Dark Alliance, I'm probably the person that's going to A, read your tweet, and B, respond if there's something that we can do. So working with fandoms, and I've done this for several different titles over the years, both in video game and entertainment and television, is that fandoms are all different, and they all have their different language, and they all have their different cultures. Just think about you and how you interact with, let's say, your coworkers versus your parents and versus your friends. You use different language and different tone for each of them. You probably have inside jokes with different groups, even within your own fandoms. I bet you talk to gamers differently than you would talk to anime fans, than you would talk to board gamers or tabletop RPG players. It's all different. So my job is to go in and learn that culture and learn that lingo to see how are people talking? How are they talking about us? What is their language? What are the memes they share? What are they into? And I use that to help us both craft better messaging to go out to them that speaks their language, because we all love it when we're talked to in words that we understand, and also to translate what our fans are saying to us and deliver them up the chain to like, hey, here's how this was received. More often than not, it's actually internally where I run into more struggles, where I have to explain like the language of a tweet that's going out, and I have to say like, oh no, yeah, you don't talk like this. You might not understand all this slang, but our audience does. So in a nutshell, I keep it real. Authenticity is the currency on the internet, especially with social media, and you always want to come off as authentic. And I help to do that just by embedding myself and being a fan myself, no matter what the property is.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think you're doing an excellent job on the Dark Alliance Twitter handle. That's my fandom that I in my landscape, and I've seen your posts, and they are that blend of, you know, comedy that you really only get if you're both a fan of Dungeons and Dragons and Drizzt Orden and all those companions, as well as like very online jokes, right? That people only get if they are utilizing those social media platforms on a daily basis. And what have been some of the fun ones that you've done recently? I feel like there's tons in my head, but what are some of your favorites?
Oh man, so yeah, we have a character in the game, Utar Kelvin's son, and he's voiced by a very famous Hollywood actor. So I tweeted out a scene with him where he has the voice, and I said, "Guess who this is?" And that Hollywood actor, Joe Manganiello, just immediately responded. And so I was like, "Oh, well, there goes all of my my campaign that I had for that." But
he just responded and said, "It's me."
Yeah, it's me. I did the thing. It's like, okay, well, I guess I need to write more content now. The best part about social media is it's so unpredictable, and people talk about different things throughout the week, and you could jump onto different topics. For instance, I believe it was last week where Shrek had its 20th anniversary. So I just hopped into Photoshop really quick and put Drizzt outside his swamp, and I just said, well, took care of that ogre problem. Canonically killed off Shrek in the Dark Alliance Twitter cinematic universe.
It is canon. It's canon now.
It's canon. What? That's why there's not a Shrek the 4th or 5th or whatever we're up to on that. People definitely had opinions on that. One of my personal favorites was I work with another community manager. I want to say, or a social media manager. I want to say it's never just me. Social media is a team effort, and a lot goes into it. I provide more of the qualitative stuff, while other people provide like quantitative data to see like how well we're doing. So I was talking to him, and we saw this thing going across that was National Horny Day. And so again, we had Utar Kelvin's son, big horned helmet on, and I was just like, all right, here's where I can make my mark. So for the first time in its nearly 30-year history, Wizards of the Coast took part in National Horny Day. And yeah, I really like to say I feel like I'm making a difference here.
Definitely.
You really are.
Is it safe to say that nobody from HR follows the Dark Alliance Twitter channel?
Oh, muted, blocked immediately.
Well, and the way you describe, jumping into Photoshop to create those things, it feels very much like a dungeon master, which is something I hadn't really considered about a community manager. That you have to have a bunch of different talents, and different ones bring different talents to bear, in how they communicate these things. And it is in some ways like you're just wanting to make sure everybody has fun and has a good time, just like a dungeon master does.
Absolutely. Like one of the things is, we have to provide value for people to follow us. Because if I just got on that handle and was just like, pre-order Dark Alliance, June 22nd, Dark Alliance, June 22nd, like, would you really want to hear that every single day? There's no value in that. After a while, I'd just be like, this handle doesn't have anything to say. So you want to create that fun, exciting content for people to give them value. It's like, why would I follow this? Oh, well, there's Dungeons and Dragons fans behind it. There are people who understand the culture. There are people who understand my language and are tweeting the stuff that I find is funny, and I have value with this, and I'm going to share it. Tweeting out pre-order Dark Alliance June 22nd, like, you're not going to get much engagement. No one's going to retweet that. But if you tweet like, hey, I just murdered Shrek as an entire family, people are more interested.
I didn't know it was his whole family too.
See, I only saw the first movie, and I didn't know like he had a whole family, and people are just like, what about his children and his wife? And I'm like, oh yeah, they're so dead.
Oh my God. And here I was like, in my head, I was like, Dritz and Fiona, can I see it? Maybe? But nope, guess not.
Nope. Cameron
That's
Diaz
awful.
is also
had a
pissed.
bounty.
Gingy better be okay. You better not lay hands on him.
all the way home. Can't catch him. He's the gingerbread man.
He was my favorite.
That's amazing.
Cool. But yeah, even with when you're working on a content calendar and a campaign leading up to like a date, like a launch date, it does involve creating a narrative for that, because you don't want to just put everything out on the table. For instance, Mr. Joe Mangiello, thank you very much for tweeting. I love engaging with you. I had a whole storyline written out, and just like in D&D, sometimes something pops up and it's like, well, my players didn't even go to this cool place that I set up for them, so now I've got to write something else on the fly.
That is very dungeon mastery.
Yeah. And I like, even in your, not necessarily criticism, but the idea of being like, pre-order on June 22nd, pre-order, you're still getting the marketing messages out there, even in a satirical way, right? And I think that's a special talent, too, for community managers.
Exactly. No one likes being marketed to. No one likes like a telemarketer calls. You don't want to talk to them. All they want to do is sell you something. It's not too different on social media, because we do want to sell you something, but we're also fans. We also want to entertain. We understand that this is something that people love. I love it. And so I don't want to take it and drag it through the mud and make it something boring, make it something you want to hang up on, make it something like, oh, Dark Alliance is tweeting again, June 22nd. And see how I keep getting that date in there for y'all? It's like, I hope I'm being entertaining to you. You might not notice I'm marketing to you.
Yeah.
Your brain did.
Exactly.
June 20. I feel like something's happening on June 22nd. I don't.
Right. And again, it's the same thing that Dungeon Masters do when you're like, oh, yeah, you don't see anything in this room except for a shadow over in the corner. And I'll keep being like, oh, by the way, there's a shadow over in the corner, until someone's like, I want to investigate that shadow over in the corner. And then you're like, good, because that's where the content is. And you're right. Like, it's the same thing. You want to kind of subtly reinforce those messages in ways that don't feel obtrusive. And you're doing a great job at it.
Thank you. Yep. Just got to lead the players to where you want them to go.
Sweet. Well, I'm excited to watch more of your live streams each Friday. What time do those go?
They're on noon on Pacific time. So I guess that's 3:00 Eastern time.
Nice. And it's every Friday in perpetuity, or just leading up to the release?
Just leading up to the release. We're doing, right now we have 6 shows. Like maybe if it got super popular, we would do more, but we're filming our 3rd show today. And then, we'll have 3 more after that up until launch.
Very exciting. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, check that out. That's on twitch.tv/DND.
It is. And it's also on the Dark Alliance YouTube channel as well. Please give that a follow. We're Dark Alliance everywhere. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go to YouTube. It's /Dark Alliance, @Dark Alliance, whatever it is. Please feel free to follow and communicate, say nice things, because I'm the person that's reading it.
Aww.
And if you say something cool, I might reply with something even cooler back. So
Whoa.
Ooh, that's a heavy promise.
some of my classic wit here.
I rolled a 15 earlier, but now I got an 18, and I feel like I know you even better.
Me too.
Oh, man. You roll with advantage now.
That's right. Thanks so much for coming on, Josh. Love all the stuff you're doing. And that has been a wonderful insight check into community management.
Thank y'all very much for having me.
Thanks, Josh.